For centuries, the Maha Kumbh Mela has been seen as just a grand spiritual gathering, but what if we told you it's much more than that? Aligned with rare planetary revolutions, its timing isn't random but rooted in cosmic precision. Why did UNESCO recognize it as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity? What did Vedic Gurus truly mean by MahaKumbh, and how does it connect to our Dharma? The answers might challenge everything you thought you knew. One of the most ancient and revered sites in India finds its roots in the oldest scriptures of humanity. The Rigveda Parasista, a supplement to the Rigveda dating back to 1200 to 1000 BCE, speaks of this confluence as a divine meeting point of three sacred rivers. This holy juncture is believed to cleanse one of sins, impart wisdom, and lead the seeker toward liberation. In the great epic of the Mahabharata during 400 BCE, here, the confluence is mentioned as a place of pilgrimage, where bathing serves as an act of prayashit, atonement for past mistakes and guilt. It is described as a sanctuary for the soul, offering solace and redemption to those burdened by their actions. Centuries later, the significance of this confluence extends beyond the Vedic texts. In the Pali canons of Buddhism, such as section 1.7 of the Majjhima Nikaya during 500 BCE, Gautama Buddha himself reflects on this holy site. He reminds his followers that bathing in the sacred rivers cannot cleanse cruel or evil deeds, rather, purity of heart and fairness in action are the true paths to redemption. In Vedic science, the concept of the Panchamahabhuta, or the five great elements, forms the foundation of the physical and metaphysical universe. The five elements, earth, water, fire, air, and space, are seen as the building blocks of all existence, including the human body, mind, and spirit. Among these, water holds a special significance. The human body is made up of approximately 75% water, which speaks to the vital role water plays in sustaining life and spiritual growth. Water, in its essence, is associated with purification, flow, and adaptability, qualities that extend to both physical and spiritual realms. Water's connection to spirituality is profound. It is said that water, being fluid and formless, symbolizes the purification of one's soul. It can cleanse not just physical impurities but also spiritual ones, helping to wash away negative energies and emotions. It is also said in Ayurveda, water governs the Kapha dasha, which is associated with the elements of water and earth. This dasha controls structure, stability, and the body's fluid balance. Water also represents emotions, as it is fluid and adaptable, much like human feelings, which fluctuate in response to external and internal factors. Absolutely. This deep connection to sacred sites, particularly the confluence of rivers, holds profound significance in Vedic philosophy. Maharishis, the great sages, often chose these locations, especially those at the Tirtha, as pilgrimage sites, for their spiritual practices and meditations. The confluence of the Ganga, Yamuna, and Sarasvati at the Triveni Sangam holds profound spiritual significance. The Ganga symbolizes purity, cleansing the soul of past karma and leading to liberation. The Yamuna represents devotion and love, fostering emotional and spiritual connection. The Sarasvati, though invisible, embodies wisdom and knowledge, guiding intellectual and spiritual awakening. This sacred union symbolizes the harmony of the body, mind, and intellect, the three essential components of human existence. Mark Twain, in his travelogue, Following the Equator, A Journey Around the World, at 1897, mentions, "Then we struck into the hot plain, and found the roads crowded with pilgrims of both sexes, for one of the great religious fairs of India was being held at the junction of the sacred rivers, the Ganges and the Jumna. It is wonderful, the power of a faith like that can make multitudes upon multitudes of the old and weak and the young and frail enter without hesitation or complaint upon such incredible journeys and endure the resultant miseries without repining. It is done in love, or it is done in fear, I do not know. No matter what the impulse is, the act born of it is beyond imagination marvelous to our kind of people, the cold whites. Few among us could exhibit the equivalent of this prodigious self-sacrifice, but the rest of us know that we should not be equal to anything approaching it. Still, we all talk self-sacrifice, and this makes me hope that we are large enough to honor it in the Hindu." He further added in his text, The sense of the superiority of man in the scale of creation has not been absent from her mind. But she has had her own idea as to that in which his superiority really consists. It is not in the power of possession but in the power of union. Therefore India chose her places of pilgrimage wherever there was in nature some special grandeur or beauty, so that her mind could come out of its world of narrow necessities and realize its place in the infinite. This was the reason why in India a majority of people who once were meat-eaters gave up taking animal food to cultivate the sentiment of universal sympathy for life, an event unique in the history of mankind. In Vedic cosmology, the concept of time varies between celestial and earthly realms, with one day of the Devas being equivalent to one Earth year. A period of 12 days in the Deva realms corresponds to 12 Earth years, aligning perfectly with the orbital cycle of Jupiter, which takes approximately 12 Earth years to complete one revolution around the Sun. The movement of planets like Jupiter and Venus symbolizes the celestial churning, where their alignments replicate the cosmic struggle between divine and material energies. Jupiter, known as Guru in Vedic astrology, holds immense spiritual significance, symbolizing wisdom, growth, and divine grace. Its movement profoundly influences human life and spiritual cycles. Venus governs material wealth, beauty, and vitality, while the moon influences emotions, time cycles, and earthly rhythms. Together, their interactions with Jupiter create cosmic synchronicity. The calculation of 12 Deva days multiplied by 12 Earth years equals 144 Earth years, marking a rare and powerful cosmic alignment that amplifies spiritual energy and fosters profound transformations. This is when Maha Kumbh Mela is held, creating an environment that amplifies spiritual practices like meditation, mantra chanting, and bathing in sacred rivers. The human body, sensitive to the Earth's magnetic field, experiences enhanced brain activity during these celestial events, promoting deeper mindfulness and meditation. Additionally, the ionization of water in flowing rivers is believed to increase negative ions, which are scientifically linked to reducing stress, improving mood, and boosting overall well-being. This cosmic and earthly synergy underscores the spiritual and scientific significance of the Maha Kumbh Mela. Explaining the importance of this year's MahaKumbh, Mahant Hari Chaitanya Brahmachari, head of Takarmafi Ashram, told Times of India, it is after 144 years that the positioning of all the planets is in line, from January 13th to 3 hours prior to Amavasya, that is January 29th, a significant spiritual event that celebrates the alignment of these celestial bodies. During this period, it is believed that the cosmic energies are at their peak, and bathing in their time period is believed to obtain moksha or amrit. UNESCO entitled Maha Kumbh as Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity. The essence of the entitlement is based on the story of Amrit, as narrated in the Vishnu Purana, revolves around the Samudra Manthan. This cosmic effort embodies the eternal struggle between devas and evil within the human mind. In this profound spiritual allegory, the devas and asuras churn the Kshir Sagar, ocean of milk, using Vasuki, the serpent, representing desire, as the rope and the Mandara Parvat, symbolizing concentration, as the churning rod. Lord Vishnu, in his tortoise avatar, provides stability, signifying divine support during challenges. As the churning unfolds, 14 treasures emerge, each bearing deep spiritual significance. Hala Hala, poison, represents the release of negativity, consumed by Shiva as Nilkant to symbolize resilience. Kamdanu, sacred cow, signifies abundance, while Akashravas, divine horse, and Aravat, divine elephant, embody resolve and elevated consciousness. Treasures like the Kaustubha Mani, gem of wisdom, Kalpavriksha, wish-fulfilling tree, and Shankha, conch of victory, highlight spiritual grace, fulfillment, and clarity. Apsaras represent imagination, while Varani, wine, warns against indulgence. Chandra, the moon, emphasizes emotional balance, and goddess Lakshmi signifies wealth achieved by transcending material distractions. Finally, Dhanvantari, a divine physician, emerges with Amrita, nectar of immortality, representing healing, enlightenment, and spiritual perfection. Together, these elements illustrate the transformative journey of overcoming negativity, mastering desires, and achieving divine wisdom. The Maha Kumbh Mela is a sacred gathering that draws sadhaks, spiritual seekers, from around the world, representing diverse spiritual traditions, practices, and philosophies. These sadhaks, including Agoras, Nagas, Vaishnavas, Shaivites, Tantrics, Kundalini practitioners and many more come together to deepen their spiritual practices and connect with the wisdom of ancient lineages. They engage in activities like yajnas, fire rituals, meditation, yoga, mantra chanting, storytelling sessions about saints, gurus, Paramatma etc., all while discussing paths of Dharma and enlightenment. From ancient times, the Kumbh Mela has drawn people from every corner of India, uniting them in their quest for spiritual awakening. Pilgrims, sages, and seekers gather at this confluence of sacred rivers to wash away their sins and embrace a path of Dharma and liberation. The Kumbh is more than just a festival, it is a reflection of India's deeply ingrained values of sacrifice, devotion, and righteousness. Throughout history, India has been home to leaders and kings who left behind material wealth and power for a higher purpose. Gautam Buddha, born as Prince Siddhartha, abandoned his luxurious life to walk the path of enlightenment. His teachings on compassion, truth, and detachment continue to inspire millions worldwide. Raja Harishchandra, the legendary king known for his unwavering commitment to truth, willingly gave up his kingdom, endured unimaginable hardships, and even served as a crematorium worker to uphold his promise. His life story is a timeless reminder of integrity and Dharma. Lord Ram, revered as Maryada Purushottam, set the ultimate example of sacrifice and duty. From relinquishing the comforts of his palace to honor his father's word to living in exile and battling injustice, Lord Ram symbolizes the ideals of righteousness and devotion. The Kumbh Mela is imbued with the essence of these tales, of kings who chose Dharma over power, of gurus imparting wisdom, and of the eternal human pursuit of truth. Every step taken at the Kumbh reflects these timeless lessons, connecting the past with the present and offering a transformative experience for all who attend. Pundit Vamadeva Shastri said there is Dharma or way of right action relative to all aspects of human life and culture, a Dharma of art, a Dharma of business, a Dharma of communication, a Dharma of relationship, a Dharma of science, a Dharma of religion, and so on, each of which requires its own examination. What is done according to Dharma is performed with grace, intelligence and respect for the natural order. Each different domain of our lives has certain principles and practices necessary to unfold its full potential, which constitute its Dharma. If we follow the Dharma in what we do, we will not only be successful, but will act so in a way that promotes the well-being of all. We have our own individual or svadharma that reflects our capacities and aspirations in life. Yet this is not something that divides us from others. Each person has similar potentials that we must honor.